I've got Michael here.
Nice to be here. Thank you for being here, and it's my delight that you invited me to come along for the ride.
Yes, it's always great to share what's happening at Miami-Dade County Parks.
Now, love is in the air. That was the song a moment ago, all right? And why is love in the air, and how's the parks going to show us this?
Well, I have to tell you, love is in the air 365 days a year at Miami-Dade Parks. But this long weekend, we have some great happenings at a park near you. Now, if you have not made reservations, well, for some of those special park activities, you might have missed it for Valentine's, but check them out just in case, because Daring Estate is hosting a beautiful moonlight music concert. So that's happening.
Really?
I love the Daring Estate, and great open air, great music, great company, and the sight of the bay is worth every minute.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, we saw that they had a classic car show. Right,
the vintage car show.
Yes, it was very nice. I saw a couple of old Corvettes, some Mustangs. Right before my time, but I remember them well.
Great memories when
yes.
you see those vehicles,
yes.
right? So we also have evenings by the bay happening at Daring Estate as well. So you have an opportunity to enjoy the outdoors safely throughout the year. But Valentine's Day, we have great activities.
When is Valentine's Day for those guys that have forgotten?
Yeah, let me make that reminder. That's great. That's Sunday.
This
February
Sunday.
14th, this Sunday.
Okay.
Absolutely. So love is in the air. Take your loved ones outdoors.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing is Fruit and Spice Park. Now, they have a great little cafe there called Mango Cafe.
What cross streets?
I know you were going to ask me. You and
way down
always, there. I need to put it on there.
Okay.
Fruit and Spice Park. It serves the Redland area, but it's a beautiful botanical destination. Now, Mango Cafe has a great menu.
Mango Cafe is in there.
Is right. Yep. It's on the
Fruit and Spice Park. I used to go there. I'm pretty sure it's that one when they would have an annual plant sale. People would merchant.
They do host annual plant sales. They also have the Asian festival that takes place there as well. Of course, these special events are revisited because of COVID, but they're still having some great experiences at that park. They have fruit tasting with the miracle fruit. Have you heard of that fruit?
Yes.
I think that's incredible.
That's the little red one.
The little red one, you taste that, and then you take a bite of a lemon, and it tastes like lemonade. Pretty incredible.
It completely alters the taste buds, and it's really neat.
It's really neat. Hopefully, when I get Grant back to the station, maybe we could do that miracle fruit experience.
A friend of mine is a horticulturalist. Hey, there's Grant right there. All right, and he's listening. I can tell. And he gave us one of those plants. I couldn't keep it alive long enough because my thumb's not green, but it was really neat. We'd put them out and we'd say, here, taste this. And it was really extraordinary. It was like being back in high school. Take this taste-altering drug, all right, but it's a plant.
It's organic?
Yes. And how long does that altered taste last, more or less?
So for me, it lasts about 7 to 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then, of course, I'm also tasting all the fruits that Fruit and Spice has for their tasting. So don't worry about your green thumb. Fruit and Spice takes care of that because they will offer the fruit tasting with the miracle fruit. In fact, if you're a cancer patient, this is something that the interpretive staff at Fruit and Spice talk about. This fruit allows cancer patient to actually experience some of the taste of certain foods. So that's why it's called the miracle fruit.
So it livens up the taste buds.
Absolutely.
So people that may have, I'm not in that category, but a dulled sense of taste, it accentuates it.
It accentuates that. So coming out to Fruit and Spice. And then, of course, I have to tell you, because I bring you delights from Mango Cafe, this Valentine's Day.
That's Sunday, guys.
That's Sunday. Thank you for reminding everyone. On the menu, for starters, they have shrimp cocktail with boom boom sauce. So they did a great pairing of the word with Valentine's Day with that. They also offer their lobster, Rosemary's
Let's talk about the boom boom sauce.
Oh, I knew you were going to go there.
Okay. How good is that?
It is delicious. I actually tried it 2 days ago. It has a mixture of sweet and spicy. And then when you pair it with that cocktail shrimp, it is just a great delicacy. And it's easy. You dip it in the sauce and you enjoy it.
I would use a tablespoon.
You would use a tablespoon just to
Tablespoon.
eat that boom boom sauce.
Yes, yes.
Well, and then the entrees, you have Rosemary's lobster roll, and then you also have the pulled pork sandwich. 2 signature menu items that are year round.
Rosemary's, is that somebody, how is it, why is it named that?
You know, that's interesting. I believe when we opened up Mango Cafe, the person who ran Mango Cafe created the lobster roll.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Yes.
Right.
But lobster roll is fresh, and it is one of their signature entrees year round at Mango Cafe. Then, of course, you will sip on some Chardonnay, or if you're not into that, they have great milkshakes or smoothies made out of all sorts of fruits.
Okay, people want to know nowadays, where can they park?
So the park has its own parking lot there.
Okay.
So that's an interesting question, Michael. But we do provide parking, which is also adjacent to Mango Cafe. So that's available there.
Okay, good.
And then you could definitely end your meal with delicious strawberries.
Here we go, guys.
Now, I do have to say, if you did not make your order on this, you missed the boat. They have completely sold out, and you get the last batch. So,
Tommy, we're in like Flint. Okay, I'm going to take one over here. All right. Thank you.
There you go.
And we're going to save.
And we're going to save some for our producer, Tommy. Grant, we'll see if we have any left over for Grant.
That's it.
Right? And then, of course, they're going to have New York cheesesteak. So cheesecake, if you like cheesecake.
My wife always gets this cheesecake, and then she has 1 or 2 bites out of it, then she throws it out. I said, well, why do you order so much? She says, well, you know, it's only half the calories.
Well, just like you wanted the teaspoon, right?
Yes.
For your boom boom sauce, your wife is just going to enjoy a couple of scoops of that New York cheesecake. Make your reservations if you're going to dine in. Because of COVID, we do have some restrictions, but we are still serving there at Mango Cafe, or you could take out. So call for reservations or put your order in at 305-247-5727, Fruit and Spice Park, and our Mango Cafe.
In Redlands area, you can go online. You can find out all about the county's parks, especially the Fruit and Spice Park. And when you go down there and you drive down those roads, it is you feel different, right? You just, when you get out of the urban area and you go into the rural area, it is a different feel. The temperature, if you will, just drops, and it's certainly
your temperature and your blood pressure.
Yes.
Right, and the historical significance of that great community of Redland, and of course that park altogether. The old schoolhouse is there. That's currently now the gift shop at Fruit and Spice Park. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a great drive. So if you're looking for something different, something new, this Valentine weekend, which by the way is a long weekend, so they'll be open on Monday as well.
It's interesting because Grant was down at the RF Orchids the other day down south, and a few weeks ago, Grant was out in the Everglades. All right. So we see there is this push for all of us to start enjoying things that normally wouldn't have he certainly wouldn't have gone. But it seems like it's a long way away. It's not. All right. In 25 minutes, you're there right in the middle of it.
I agree. With a 30-minute drive, you could have incredible experiences here in South Florida. And Miami-Dade Parks really amplifies, you know, those great experiences, from waterways to great open spaces.
How many parks are there?
We have over 278 parks.
Wow, that's a bunch. There's something for everybody.
And I'm proud to say we are the most diverse. From Zoo Miami to the gun range, to the beaches, to our nature centers, to our sports complex, equestrian center. Michael, I could go on and on.
Fanny, before we get on to the north side ones, Tropical Park, not too far from here, is just a wonderful place to go. All right, and you can enter from Miller or from Bird Road. All right, and it's really tremendous. Grant, where are you, man?
He saw the strawberries, and he
saw the strawberries.
He's coming in for the strawberry.
All right. He did bring in some pizza from Power Pizza. Thank you so much, Grant. Another 4,000 calorie day.
And I brought the strawberries. Keeping it healthy, folks.
So
Tropical Park.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. All right, lots of lakes, lots of people enjoying themselves. There's this. I think the hill is still over there. When I used to exercise, I'd run up that hill and run down and run up that hill. And it's nice to see everybody out there with their families and pushing the kids or on their bicycles and some skates. So that's
actually my regional park. So I live in that area. And I'm glad you brought up Tropical Park. You know, the softball fields there were renovated by our Miami Marlins. And I am excited. In fact, I'm wearing a red shirt today, right? And Grant is a sports enthusiast, and I'm wearing my softball shirt today. Heartbreakers. Because it reminds us that parks.
And it's a V right there.
And it's
Valentine's
a V.
Day.
Look at that. But now that our Miami Marlins renovated those softball fields, we are proud to say that we're partnering up with youth sports, and ladies softball league kicks off this next week. So we are excited.
How long have you had a ladies softball league?
So this is the high school. So high schoolers and their softball leagues are using park fields as their home fields.
That's great.
And
no kidding. That's very, very good.
Yeah. So stay tuned. I mean, the local school there is Southwest High School. And
Go
that's
Eagles, right?
That's right.
And stopping at Arbetter's and Frankie's.
Yeah. I mean, you have everything there. One-stop shop. But yeah, they kick off the season this upcoming week, and the Lady Eagles will have their home field number 2. So come out to Tropical Park and see the sports complex.
So, Fanny Navarro, tell us about the new cultural center that's being built on Tropical Park. Is it on or at?
Yeah. So that cultural center, I pass by it every day. The construction seems to be on time. It's really going to be a partnership with the Miami-Dade County Arts and Cultural Department, and of course, bringing arts to the park.
Very nice. I like that. And also for the folks that are wondering, something that's dear to me is the Horse and Cattle Show over there at Tropical Park. If I remember right, it's coming up. Do you know if it's still going to be held this year?
So I know that we're reviewing all of the special events, especially with all of our event partners. So stay tuned. That's the Ronald Reagan Equestrian Center.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, we've had really interesting opportunities there. Not just horses are using that great equestrian center. We've had dog shows. Because at Tropical Park, we have designated dog park areas there. So if you have a small dog or a large dog, they have their own dog park right there by the lake.
I keep threatening my wife every year when I go, I take pictures. I say, guess where I am? I'm bringing home some of these ducks and these chickens. And she says, no, you're not. You leave them there. So it's really great. And when you go there and the kids are holding their dad's hand there, their moms are going around and seeing all the cows and the bulls and the goats, and then to see the horse show, it's really tremendous.
Yeah, it's a great Tropical Park does offer great experiences.
But there are dozens of countries that go there to bring their top cattle there.
Cattle breeders.
And we know that Miami-Dade is a central point for shipping four-legged critters down in South America and vice versa. We have 3 or 4 quarantine stations where these critters sit for a couple of weeks and they test them. So and it's part of that is when the county saw many years ago to say, what do we have to do to connect us to the rest of the country and the rest of the world? We know a lot of cows come in and cattle come in from Texas, right, and from South America, and all these people get to meet each other while they're there. So it's really a great thing that the Miami-Dade County.
That's a good point, Michael, because parks connect people. Because of different opportunities and experiences they have there. And
the park there, if I remember right, they would also, there's some runs, some jogging events, 5K, and sometimes there's some other ones.
And we also have the beautiful stadium that's there as well. So again, Tropical Park there in the Westchester area. It's right off of the 826.
What's on the state? Is that still a track over there?
It's the track. It's the full track, and then it's got the stadium seating. Football, I think football, high school football is getting ready to kick off. Again, the parks provide the home, stadium for these high schoolers.
25 years ago, Miami Runners Club used to be there. That's where I got where I ran for many, many, many years. And when I stopped going there, whenever I would run, I'd say, that's about a quarter mile. That's the track. And I would say, okay, this is a quarter of a quarter in my head, okay?
Of that track.
And I go, okay, that's half, that's 3/4. Okay, you can speed up now. And because we ran it, hundreds and hundreds of times, it was really a great training ground for literally thousands of people. And also, aren't the police horses over there?
So I know that they do use the equestrian center for training. We do not have any housing for horses in that Equestrian Center,
Okay.
but we do work very closely with not only Miami-Dade County Police, but all the other municipalities as well.
That's true.
And how about fishing? Did you know the lakes at Tropical Park are stocked?
No.
So yeah, bring your fishing rod. I mean, if again, something unique, something different, bring out your fishing rods, and you have that large lake near the dog park.
Do you still have the pedal?
We do have great vendors out there that offer the
It's
pedal
not
boats.
easy, folks. It looks like it's easy. It ain't easy.
I agree. Or you know what? Take a stroll down the preserve or nature trail. Tropical Park
Yes.
offers that as well.
Yes, that's great. So are we heading up north now?
We are going to head up north, but most importantly, it is Black History Month. And Miami-Dade County Parks really focuses on these great pioneers. In fact, through our Instagram at Miami-Dade Parks, we have a series called What's in the Name? So if you don't mind, let's head up to Arcola. That's in the Northwest area. And let's talk about Mr. Sidney Wynn. Do you know about him?
No, I think I'm about to find out.
You're going to find out because, I read a Miami Herald article on this individual, and his hook when you talk to him in a conversation, he's like, do you know why I was named Win? Because I win at every sport. And he was truly an all-around athlete, from golf to ping pong, and he actually played baseball. And so this era, he was a World War II veteran, and he loved baseball. That was really his main sport, but he won at everything. Everybody knew him for his great sportsmanship and just being an all-around athlete. So I do want to mention he was born in Georgia, was raised in Coconut Grove. He started being a caddy at the age of 10. And guess what? Where it took him. After his years of playing baseball, he returned to Miami. He played with the Miami Giants until 1957 with the baseball there. But then he became a lifeguard at the segregated Virginia Key Beach. And then from there, which I thought was really, really interesting, he became the director at Arcola Lakes Park, which is now named after Sidney Wynn, as Sidney Wynn Park at Arcola in 2014.
It's wonderful recognition for his hard work over a lifetime.
Absolutely. And again, continues to just inspire athletes that come and use the park as well. So continue to play ball. And again, Black History Month, Miami-Dade Parks is starting that series in Instagram. So connect with us on Instagram and really see what's in the name during Black History Month. So
Okay.
we're good there.
All right.
You want to find out what's happening in my neck of the woods?
Yes,
right?
we're
With
waiting
Miami
with bated breath.
EcoAdventures. You know what, Tommy? Before I share what's happening at EcoAdventure, I do want to share a great video by GMCVB through the Miami Land video. Could we cue that up, Tommy?
Adventure is more than a place. It's also a state of mind. And if your mindset is all about exploring, you'll love the EcoAdventures in Miami-Dade County Parks. Go from green paths to blue waterways in a single day, on bikes, kayaks, or by boat, or join a nighttime owl spotting walk. Out here, it's all about freedom and epic wide open room to roam, but also smaller spaces you'll love getting to know. Explore Miami's natural side in seagrass beds and secret mangroves, unspoiled sandy beaches, coastal forests, and rare hammocks. From water to wildlife to wonder, find your own eco-adventure and come see Miami a little differently.
And there you have it, Michael. I mean, if that was not inspiring to spend more time outdoors, I don't know what's going to get you out there.
You know, Fanny, and when I was much younger, another lifetime ago, I would go to Reynolds Park when I was this big, when we lived up there. And that's really when I came really connected to nature. And I wound up being in the animal business for 40 years, which started back then when I would go fishing and I'd see the ducks. And of course, the snakes would they're all harmless. They're nice. All right. But it drew it out of me to be able to sit there and to see all this stuff. The film is very inspiring and very calming.
Yes, and thank you to GMCVB for really capturing and telling the story of seeing Miami differently. Because when people think of Miami, they think of this concrete jungle.
Would you tell us what the GMCVB is?
Yes, that's the Greater Miami
Conventions.
Yeah, Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thank you. And they've been great partners. Their new Miami Land series really shows the uniqueness of Miami being nestled between two national parks. And then you have services like Miami EcoAdventures with your Miami-Dade County parks connecting you to nature.
There is a commercial. It happens to be for, well, I won't say what it's for, but it shows a young man on the front of a boat and somebody rowing, I think, and he jumps up on the shore, all right? And it's all nature. It's just like this. And they're selling a product, but it was wonderful. And I don't know if I'm seeing more nature things or whether I'm just a little bit more attuned to it because of things that have been going on the last year.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with it. Right now, we're really focused on the nature deficit disorder. It's something that has allowed us as park professionals to really hone in that when our community disengages with nature, what can transpire. But because of COVID, it has allowed us to really focus on nature connections. Number one, spending time safely outdoors has allowed us to introduce outdoor adventures to those that probably didn't think of it before, because that's where, the experts are saying, go outdoors, get vitamin D from the sun. And we've just mirrored that together with nature-based activities.
There is a place down in the Redland near the Fruit and Spice Park. The place that sells those muffins, all right? When you drive down there, all right, and you get there and you see all the trees, there's something that happens. So whether it's a tropical park at Arcola Park or Reynolds Park, wherever it is, there's certainly some magic that happens to our psyche in there.
I agree. I mean, parks bring that healthy community element just by having the green spaces within our community. And that's critical. That's critical to our health. It's critical to our happiness. And I'm glad that you even feel that, Michael. I'm pretty fortunate. I work out in the woods, in the parks all the time, and I do feel healthy. I love life, and I live a park life because I know it's important, not only as a professional, but through my family as well. We just live a park life. And we hope the rest of you will join us as well. And Miami EcoAdventures allows you to do that by connecting to nature.
And so if somebody wants to see all the programs that are that the county offers to this, where should they go?
So Park Link, something very important. It's mobile friendly. You could create an account and you will see all of the park offerings that are happening. You could also register for special events or classes that are happening as well. But what's really creating a buzz are our social media connections. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our handle is at Miami-Dade Parks. And then, of course, you have your Zoo Miami handle, your Daring Estate. But Miami-Dade County also has a website through the Parks Department, miamidade.gov /, let me repeat that, miamidade.gov /parks. And you could select either by your address or by activity. And it is just an amazing array of diverse experiences.
So my grandson, when he started learning how to ride a bike, his first place that he was by himself, all right, was in a park. All right. And there was a big sidewalk, asphalt sidewalk. And so my son-in-law is filming this and he's going, and then the grandson's going down there screaming, yay. And everything. So we still have that. And that was in a park. Right. There's so many things that can happen there that are really good now.
Yeah. Great memories from riding a park, flying a kite, reading your first book under a tree. How about memorable life celebrations, from baptisms to birthday parties?
Go to the Horse and Cattle Show. You guys are going to love it over there.
We will definitely bring an update on that event once it comes around. But I do want to share during this Valentine with Miami EcoAdventures, green is the new red.
Say it again.
Green is the new red for this Valentine's, because we have great eco-adventure happening with great programming. It's a long weekend, by the way, not only Valentine's Day, but Monday is President's Day. But we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday programs available for you. You could start tonight. We have seats available at our campfire and wildlife night walks at A.D. Barnes Park.
And where's that?
And that is located on 72nd off of Bird Road, right across the railroad tracks. We also have Critters of the Night happening in Arch Creek in North Miami. So if you're looking for something to do to kick off this Valentine's Friday, some night campfires is the way to go.
Let's talk about A.D. Barnes. Is that where the snakes came from?
A.D. Barnes, no, that was Bill Sadowski.
Okay.
Our animals come from Bill Sadowski. That's the nature center there.
Well, last week we were fortunate to have 3 different snakes. Red-tailed boa, pretty big. We had a small hognose snake, and Denise from our office here was delighted to be able to hold the snake. And then also king snake Willie from there was here. And then somebody else. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are our animal ambassadors. You know, connecting to wildlife is an opportunity where animals become ambassador of the wonders of the wild. And from their great adaptations to knowing that some of them are invasive species, but really bring an important wildlife message, these animal ambassadors are part of Miami EcoAdventures, telling the Miami-Dade story. And EcoAdventures and the naturalists bring that to all of our visitors.
A few weeks ago, I'm looking at my driveway, and there's a snake in the driveway, and it's not really moving. I said, it looks fake. I look at it, and I said, no, it's the type of boa. And after a little while, I figured out it was a Kenyan sand boa.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then
on your driveway?
Yes. And then I said, why is he here? Because we had ripped up a whole bunch of plants, and they live in the sand. And so I brought him to somebody that is in the, it's not native, right? And he's in the reptile business.
Right.
And so it was very
so he was able to identify that?
Very friendly little guy. And being that we were continuing doing a lot of work at the house, I was afraid we were going to kill him, or one of the chickens was going to get him. So I took him to a safe environment. So don't kill the snakes, man.
No, they're so important. And you bring a good point. Let's say you come across a wildlife in your backyard or while you're visiting one of the parks. Take a pictures and contact one of Miami-Dade County Parks nature centers if you're not sure what the species are. And we're happy to identify that for you. Or we also use this app called iNaturalist. You snap a picture of, it could either be a plant species, scat, it could be a feather, and it is based off of scientific data. You take a picture, and it's actually recording the biodiversity in the area that you find that a particular species. So it's called iNaturalist. And it's an app right on your phone.
And then you take a picture, and then it puts it into their files.
So it takes a picture. It asks if you recognize it. If you don't recognize it, it goes into a database where researchers and scientists will be able to identify it or catalog it to something that's already been seen in the area.
Okay, so at this time of the year, there's a lot of hawks in the air. Cooper's hawks, I think, is one of them.
Yes.
All right, and those they have a wingspan about this big. They don't weigh very much, 3, 4, 5 pounds maybe. All right. And they are flying around. You can see them. And if you have other animals, they're there. And they sort of hang out, and they're looking for food. If one of them is injured, or it's in your backyard, all right, and it's flopping around, what should somebody do?
So first, from a distance, snap a picture just to see if you could try to identify if it's got an eye injury or a wing injury, but do not touch the animal. Now, one of the things that I always like to emphasize is sometimes, especially birds of prey or birds might get shocked, and their initial state is just to recover. And then if you get to them, they'll take flight right away. But let's say you do identify an injury. The most important thing to do is gather a description of what you see and then call Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. Right now, they will be able to identify that for you if you have a photo, and then try to rehab the bird and release it back. So that's what we advise from a distance. We're so lucky that we have phones that we're able to, capture description, but attempt not to touch them at all.
All right. And sometimes people
or feed them or give them water. That's another thing that people think it's the right thing to do, but Until the injury is not identified, it's best just to get them to the help through the Pelican Seabird Station.
Okay, so since we're on to animals, there's so many people that are losing their dogs, all right, and so many that are being found. Last week, I saw a dog. I was on the other side of the street, and there was a Chihuahua on the other side. It was 6 lanes over. I didn't pay much attention to it because it was so far over. And then the same day or the next day, I see a thing, somebody lost a Chihuahua. So I said, listen, this is where I was. It was relatively close to where we were. This is what I saw. But I felt really uncomfortable, one, in not having done something. And on the other hand, I'm thinking I would have to go around in there and catch the dog, all right, which presents a whole bunch of other problems. So what should people do when they see, if a dog comes over to them, what would you like them to do?
Well, first of all, you have to be very careful because some animals might have displaced aggression just because they might not know where they are at. So give them time. Olfactory is very important. Say, allow them to sniff, your shoes, but don't get too close to them. I always advise individuals to call 311. Miami-Dade County really has a wonderful animal service department, and they'll be able to guide you with that. I know that a lot of individuals, if they feel comfortable, they might pick up the animal, the dog, the stray dog, and take them to their local veterinarian to see if they have a chip. Because if they do have a chip, that is wonderful. They'll be able to contact the owner. But unfortunately, the dogs don't have a chip. Yes. Right? And that's the biggest challenge. And being a responsible pet owner, I think, is critical when you're going to have a pet. And that's something that Miami EcoAdventure strives for. We understand that, just like you and I, we love animals. But if you're going to add them to your family, you really need to, number one, budget for them. And on average, I always say you need at least $1,000 per pet, because you never know what's going to happen. And then number two, make sure that you make them part of your family. Give them a collar, put a chip in it, because, they're going to be curious about their surroundings as well. And one of the things that I've noticed is that we're spending more time at home, right? So we open and close doors more frequently. We go outside and leave gates open. And so pets are using those opportunities to also venture the neighborhood. So although we're spending more time indoors, you have to be careful with what you're doing at home as well.
Okay, great.
Great questions. You're definitely an animal advocate.
Yes.
So I do want to share, because we're almost coming to the end here, what you could do with Miami EcoAdventures this weekend. Of course, as I mentioned, start off today with a campfire. Make your reservations through Park Link by 4 p.m. because that program kicks off at 6:30 at A.D. Barnes Park. Going into Saturday, we've got a historic Redland bike tour offered by Costello Hammock. The trails are open and the museum is open at Arch Creek in North Miami. So this new program just started off. It is a new kayak adventure at Zoo Miami. And that's going to be offered the second Saturday of every month. You missed February. It is booked. It is ready to launch. And so this is what's going to happen at those kayak adventures. You get to see the zoo in the service area because we will have the kayak adventure in a beautiful Pine Rockland Lake area. Then you're going to have a nature hike around that natural preserve. Then you get tickets to go to the zoo. So you get great experiences with Miami EcoAdventure, which has partnered with Zoo Miami with this great Pine Rockland kayak adventure. It's sold out for February, but it will be available for March. So I'm excited to share that. Sunday, which by the way is
Valentine's Day.
You almost forgot.
I didn't. Susan, I did not forget. It's Sunday. All right.
So we have great water adventures. We have the Coral Gables Bayside Kayak Adventure launching out of Crandon. You could also practice to be Cupid with our archery program. We have that going on as well, that Valentine's Day, and that's happening at Bill Sadowski Nature Center at Palmetto Bay. But hey, you want to end the weekend, let's say you forget, right? That Valentine's Day was Sunday, a sunset kayak adventure. And we have great adventures happening on Monday as well. So if you forget Valentine's Day, Miami-Dade County parks are open. EcoAdventures is offering great programs. Create your account in ParkLink, book your next adventure, and for the love of parks, not just in February, for the entire year, enjoy a park near you.
Wow, Fanny Navarro here with the Miami-Dade Parks EcoAdventures. So let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. So I hope to see you Monday. Enjoy the long weekend, because we'll take you on a boat or in a kayak and explore a park near you. For the love of parks.
For the love of parks, here we go. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Remember, it is Sunday. All right. So let's sign off right here.
All right. So love is in the air with Miami-Dade County Parks. Spend time safely outdoors in a park near you. Happy Valentine's Day and enjoy.